Welcome everyone to another edition of Late Night on Base. I'm your host, Bill the Bull, back at it. Really excited about this one. We have a real legitimate project coming on the show that I think is disrupting the gaming sector as well and how we do things with the social interactions. We have Chuckstock from Farcade. Chuck, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, man. It's always exciting to get to do this. I'm mostly spending my days just coding right now, so getting to talk to someone and have a fun conversation is always something a fun break from what I'm normally doing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure coding is exciting, but I'm glad we can give you the break. But no, I'm excited to have you on because I think for a couple reasons. I have to give a shout out to David from Base, who actually just randomly I was just scrolling and he's from the Base team and he mentioned you guys and I took a look and I was just like, I need to get in touch with him because what you guys are doing, it's starting to gain traction. You have people like Jesse Pollock on or mentioning you guys. You have Dan Romero. You guys are pretty big into the Farcaster world. And I could just see that building on Base is more than just memes. It's also utility projects and also gaming projects. And I think gaming, especially to me, is something that can really onboard the 1 to 2 billion users because everyone loves games.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to have you on. But Chuck, so for those that may not know anything about Farcade, this is literally the first time they're hearing about it. Maybe they're on Spotify, YouTube, maybe they checked out something else on Pods Media, coming across your project for the very first time. If you don't mind, what is Farcade?
Yeah, I think the easiest like mental model for Farcade is just a TikTok for gaming. And the real kicker is something that we're very excited about is all the games are built with our own AI gaming studio. So I've been obsessed with TikTok for a long time, and I really thought there was this ability to use that TikTok style feed of scrolling through content could be an amazing discovery and way to play fun games, especially mobile, especially where mobile is such like a hyper casual, quick hits. Games are maybe really popular for, a couple weeks at a time. And so the Farcade is really a TikTok platform for games, and but where all the games are actually built by the users using our AI studio. So you don't have to be an engineer. You never have to know how to code. You can just use AI prompts and launch a game within the Farcade.
Wow, so it's a TikTok for gaming, basically.
Yeah.
So you'll be just like scrolling, just like, all right, this is a new game, and then you can just scroll up and you'll find another game.
Yep.
Wow.
No downloads, no creating accounts. All your friends are there. One of the things we love about Farcaster is your ability to share your friends and your social graph. So if you come join the app, all of your friends will already be there. You don't have to like do anything special. And it's really cool, this experience of just being able to come back to the app and scroll through the feeds. We only have a handful of games right now since we just launched last Friday, but um, it's gonna start. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of games there very soon, and the feed is gonna be a very fun thing to go experience every day.
So talk to me about so you guys just launched Friday. Wow, there's a lot to uncover here. Like that
Yeah.
that's actually cool. Like as, for the viewers listening, this is like my first time actually really getting to know in depth about what you guys are because, I like to do a lot of prep beforehand for, different projects that come on. But I couldn't really find much information on you guys, and I haven't downloaded the app, and I think I will. So I'm learning as we speak.
Yeah.
So explain to me, so it's gaming meets social fi, correct?
Yeah. So I would say we're much more on like the gaming side than the socialify stuff. There will be token components where we do want gamers to not only be earning from the when they play, but also like have a chance to be part, speculate and stake and back the games that they're really excited about. We want people to be excited to find the newest, exciting games, have a chance to buy and own those things and stake in them and support the creators who are making these games. And so that's where a lot of like the tokens and on-chain components will come in. So the social fi is it's less social fi and more like kind of like GameFi. Like a lot of like the tokenomics and is just really about playing games and finding the games that are going to be the most popular in the Farcade.
That's awesome. So talk to me. Tell me. Let's circle back to Friday launch. How did it go? Tell me about, what was there a buildup? Did people know about it? Was it stealth? How did it
it,
go?
it, it was pretty stealth. Like so the Farcade was an idea that we've had for about 8 months, and we've been building different variations of it. We've had probably 6 or 7 different variations of the Farcade that we wanted to launch with, and it just was never quite there. Like I just felt, it always felt like it was missing something. It always felt like it was, a feature short or too much of a sales pitch. Like there just wasn't. It was never quite fully aligned. And then about a month ago, we started building a lot of these mini games using like an AI tool, and we just could not believe how good some of these AI platforms have gotten and how good of games you could build without any coding, just a handful of prompts, and you could have a very compelling mini game. And so when we did that, we just realized that the Farcade could really be this like forever arcade where all the games are created by the users. There's tons of content because you can create games within, games that used to take, millions of dollars and years, and devs teams and studios can now be created literally within days, if not hours. And so we've been really excited by that idea, and we're really excited by just opening up this platform to allow everybody to start building inside of the Farcade. So I think I got a little sidetracked. I
No,
forgot
no.
what your original question was.
No. That kind of just wanted to see how the launch was going.
Oh
But
yeah. So we've been building it for a while, and then we basically wanted to start accruing gamers because we wanted to have people starting to play the Farcade so that it was much easier to attract builders. We wanted people, if you're a builder, it's a lot more exciting to build on a platform that has distribution discovery. So we just decided we'd launch last Friday with just a handful of games and see kind of how it went. And it ended up just taking off because we had all these really interesting share mechanics built into the Farcade, and everybody really loved it. And Dan saw it and he made it a demo and tweeted about it, and then that was a whole another cohort of users. Then Jesse did a video and shared it, and so it really took off way quicker than we were expecting. It really was meant to be like a silent launch for us just to beta test and start growing, and it grew very fast.
so using AI, the Farcade can then be like that studio, that app that builders can come in and use AI, or like, and you don't even have to have technical experience to create your own game that's on basically the gaming TikTok. Is that kind of correct?
Yes. So even like this week we were home for the holidays. Me and my brother's my co-founder, and we have one other engineer that works with us. So it's just a team of three. But we were home for the holidays, and my sister is obsessed with Candy Crush, and we're like, we think we could probably rebuild that with the studio and launch it. And so within 4 hours, my sister, without any coding knowledge, we were able to like kind of walk her through the studio, and we rebuilt a simplified version of Candy Crush and deployed it within the Farcade, and it had thousands of users within the first 30 minutes of being live. So from 4 hours to thousands of users, basically.
That's incredible. Imagine like being able, like, so what would you think then the thoughts are as to like how in the long-term future, so say your sister was the one who created the game, what would you think would be like how, because I could see this could be massive once the creators of games get monetized through it, right? Because you're
Yeah.
going to bring in people. So how would you walk me through what do you envision the Farcade being that mechanism to pay creators? How do you feel that would go?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that we're most passionate about is that time to monetization needs to be as small as possible in this like eventual future. We just think with these AI powered tools, your ability to capture attention is so limited. We're so distracted. There's so many opportunities. There's so many interesting things happening all the time that like to get anyone's attention is very special, and therefore you have to monetize it almost instantly because they're going to go away. There's going to be something else pulling them away at some point. And so a lot of the monetization is going to be the on-chain features, whether it's through buying games or NFTs. We have this like ticket system that really limits your amount of gameplay, and so really incentivizing you to have like to pick the games you want to play, and then to support the games you want to play for being able to play longer and join leaderboards and those types of things. So we want people to be able to monetize their games almost instantly when they launch, and so we're really excited about that. And crypto and on-chain tokens make that so much easier than anything else.
Yeah, I could see that. I can see a massive potential. Once you, just like with any of these apps, I mean, for me, in the podcast world, doing things like Pods Media is probably the number one for the on-chain podcaster world. And the ability to, once I put up like, I think my Jesse Pollock interview was put on there, and I was actually able to monetize a significant amount of money through mints that was like a light bulb in my head. I was just like, the on-chain
Yeah.
economy is here to stay. It doesn't matter whether it's podcasting, whether it's writing, whether it's gaming in your case. Being able to monetize is huge, and it unlocks the ability to encourage content creators to come to your sites, because if you use Spotify, you use TikTok. I mean, think about TikTok, unless if you're not getting paid anything, unless if
Yeah.
like you go viral or what, I don't even know what the splits are. So I think you have something there. So tell me, where for you specifically, where did this idea even come from? I know it's you, your brother, and someone else. So obviously, like, are you a content creator yourself and looking to get monetized? Are you a gamer? Like, talk to us. Where did this idea come?
Yeah, so I'm a gamer and I'm a huge gamer and I've loved arcade games. And when I went to, my past life, I was in finance and accounting, and then I went back to code school in 2015. And when I first went there, a lot of the reason was my brother had just gone to code school, and we wanted to like make video games. Like we were always gamers. We always wanted to like had like dreams of building our own games one day. And the first game I ever built was Tetris, just to like when I was learning coding. And so it's been a long time of just like learning to write code and software. But and I even worked for an indie game studio back in back in 2016, I think it was 2017. And I think uh I think that I just realized how much I enjoyed the ability for games to create these social experiences. Like I just feel like I have found so many great friends and new relationships in my life through gaming. So I've always had such a love for gaming, and then the problem was I felt like I was always limited by I didn't have this like huge pedigree of like working at Nintendo or
Sure.
Activision, and I didn't spend all these years working at game engines. So I never felt like I was quite qualified to build my own video games. And then at the start of this year, my brother and I kind of just were like, let's stop pretending we're not qualified and like let's just make games. And so we launched like our first game on Farcaster called that was like a Pokemon creature collection game. And it like kind of took off in the same way that the Farcade did. Like people really loved it and it was super fun. It was like the most fun I'd had in my professional career, just like making games. And I think it really just lifted this like glass ceiling I had on myself where I was like, anybody can make games. Kind of like the Ratatouille moment. It's like anyone can cook, anyone can make games. It's all about like art and expression. And I just want everybody to feel what I felt, and I think the Farcade is going to be the tool that enables people to do that, which is like, there's so many friends I have that like always talk about wanting to build their own game, but they don't want to learn to code. And I'm just trying to tell them like, you're not going to have to. Like coding is actually going to be like, I think something that holds a lot of engineers back because they're not going to believe how good AI tools are getting and how sophisticated they are and how fast they are. And so that's where a lot of this passion came from, was like this realization earlier this year of how much fun I was having and how enjoyable it was. And I think the Farcade can be this platform for people where they can create something that I think is a little bit more tangible than just launching a meme or
Mhm.
like, these like projects that, fall by the wayside really quickly. It's a chance for you to like build something a little bit more deep, something a little bit more meaningful to you. And something that I think can remove a lot of the friction of like building and launching, which is distribution and discovery. If similar to how TikTok just makes it fun to create content because any post can go viral, we want the Farcade to be like that for gaming, where any time you create a game, it can get thousands of players in a minute if it's very, very compelling. So that's what we're excited about, and that's kind of how we got here.
You can just tell the passion is there, and I applaud you for that, because it doesn't matter about the pedigree. You are a gaming developer. You have the passion, you have the knowledge, so it doesn't matter if you didn't work for Nintendo. Who cares?
Yeah.
So that's great. Does the first have um any plans for a token itself?
Yeah.
To like launch your own?
Yes, we will be launching our own token. It's a lot of like the play right now is like play to airdrop basically campaign that's happening right now on the Farcade. So you can earn points playing games, competing with friends. Um, yeah, but we will have a token.
Smart. So for those listening, this is you will get paid, you get rewarded to use the platform as the way it should be. It goes to the loyal followings.
Yeah.
So tell me this: did you, in crypto especially? So you said you got into the coding school in 2015. What's your background in the crypto aspect, in this whole industry in Web3?
Yeah, so when I was in code school, I just happened to go there with the guys who are obsessed with Bitcoin, and
Mhm.
when I was first trying to like get my name out there and build up my social presence about a year ago, I told the story of how I was actually rugged my first day in crypto, where I was a proud Bitcoin holder for about 3 hours before the exchange was hacked. And
Oh, wow.
then, that was in 2015, and I was like, okay, well, and I was back in code school at the time. I had no money. I was basically all my savings went into buying, my first Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin was like $600 at the time, and that was about all I had, and got rugged. And I was like, okay, well, crypto's a scam. This is the stupidest thing I've ever
Yeah.
seen. But then a couple months after that, I went to an Ethereum meetup. My friend's like, this is gonna be really cool. It's like the next thing in crypto. And I went to this meetup, and this guy started talking about smart contracts. And when I heard that, like, I just had this light bulb moment. I was like, programmable money is like, especially with like my accounting and finance background, I was just like, so much of the world exists because of like middleman custodians to facilitate financial transactions. But if you have this like public smart contracts that can like facilitate, programmable money, I was like, that just felt so big to me. And so in 2016, I basically started building, I went to the meetup with my roommate at the time. We went home and built like a Pokemon trading card marketplace like that night.
Wow.
Um, and because we were obsessed. We were like, and like literally since that moment, I just like can't stop thinking about crypto from like,
Yeah.
so about 8-9 years ago. And I've just been hooked ever since, because there's just so much opportunity, and especially the opportunity in Web3 gaming is just so vast. Like I just always felt like there was so much potential for like NFTs and tokens, and to bring these really great user experiences to gaming. And I do feel like, being such a crypto person, I've slowly, taking the red pill on just it being better money, like being very sound money, being like a really great replacement for the global financial system, especially like for many people around the world who are unbanked. And so as I took that red pill, I just realized the best possible way to get mass adoption is going to be through gaming. Like, it's 3 billion gamers on the planet. Everybody plays games. A lot of people spend money on gaming, and it just feels like it's the best catalyst for onboarding people. And so it's something I'm very excited about, and love that hopefully the Farcade is going to contribute to, with all of our hyper casual games and being able to earn tokens, spend tokens, buy NFTs, and all that stuff.
That's remarkable. You've been in this industry since 2016. You got rugged, but you've but it led you to Ethereum. So you're not just some like 18-year-old living in your mom's basement. You've been out there. You've been in this world, this industry, which is good. I do agree with you a lot with gaming. I mean, like I said in the beginning of this interview, it's like, to me, gaming makes sense. How do you onboard,
Yeah.
non-crypto natives? How do you onboard the world on chain? Everyone loves games. And 2021, let me ask you this: 2021, you saw the gaming sector boom.
Mhm.
What do you think the market wasn't ready for that? Obviously that showed that retail likes it, it's easy to understand, but it didn't quite, stay. What do you think was the issue with 2021 versus now?
The two biggest problems we had was lack of depth. Like, there just wasn't enough to the 21. The 2021 was all hype and narrative. There wasn't enough like quality gaming experiences to be had yet. Like, nothing was really built. It was all just like belief in what was coming. So lack of depth was big, but the biggest one that still causes the most friction today, and is the biggest battle I have with Web2 gamers, is the scams. There just was too many get rich quick scams from very popular people, very notable gamers too. Some of the most famous, Twitch streamers and YouTubers at the time were promoted just absolute rug pulls, terrible projects. And a lot of people lost a lot of money, and it was really a bad look for crypto in general, and a really bad look for the technology. And so those are the big problems. And once that happened, I think it really became this war of like, gaming being this like purist art form versus like this money grab, you
Yeah.
know, scheme. And I totally get the that the money can introduce, it kind of have like some perverse effects toward the relationships with games, or games are like really meant to be pure and be about fun and this engagement. But I really think there's an opportunity to blend them both together and really make gaming even more fun if you can do it right. But I think that's why we didn't see it quite stick in 2021. I know we used to work with content creators, and we were trying to push them onto some of the crypto products we were building. And like, hey, like, I like this stuff, but like, I can't talk about it on stream. Like it's like a death sentence for my stream. Everyone's gonna attack me. Everyone's gonna hate it. Like I can't have crypto products on my stream,
Yeah.
even though they personally liked it. But they're like, I can't do it. Like my audience will go nuts. And so, but I think now we're getting to the point where there's very legitimate games. Off the Grid was a really big one that came out this year that had very big streamers like Ninja and Tim the Tatman and Dr. Disrespect, and all love the game. And I think like the token components is gonna like really blow people's mind when that stuff starts going mainstream. So I think we're getting there because like the technology has gotten so much better and so much less friction, and I think you can onboard people way easier. So yeah, I'm really excited by what's coming because I think we're like finally catching up to the story we were telling in 2021.
So tell me, what's next for Farcade? What's next on the roadmap?
Yeah, that's a great question. So right now it's just build. Like I think the big thing that we're working on is more games, more content. I think a lot of, especially why we did the silent launch, still only week one. I think we've had over 150,000 users play games. We've had over it's a crazy amount of time.
You
It's
said
like
150,000?
yeah,
Wow.
in the first
Congrats.
week, yeah. And we've had 100. It's like I think it's something like 25 million minutes have been played on the this week. So there's a lot of people playing a lot of games,
Yeah.
putting a lot of time into these games. So it's been a great week one, but like a lot of the reason we launched a bit silently was like there's just a lot of bugs. Like there's launching products is very hard. It's very hard to see what's going to work and what's not. And
Sure.
there's a lot of like little things you want to do improvements. So it's been a great week because we've gotten such amazing reception, and there's just a lot of things that we know we can make a lot better, which is a little bit more time. So we're working on polishing the app. We'll be launching more integrations, and so the biggest thing, which I didn't really touch on when I was describing the Farcade, is this mini app architecture that we're really leaning into. Whereas the Farcade isn't a downloadable app yet. It will be in the near future. We will have a standalone mobile app. But as of right now, all the Farcade is playable through a Telegram bot or a Farcaster frame, which are basically just like little mini applications. So you can play the entire experience within those apps. And that makes a really cool experience for the user where you don't have to go download a new app. You have all your friends there. It's all the links are shareable. So like when I share a game to play with you, Bill, if I share like, hey, come play a game, we have a game called Geo Crush, and Telegram, if you click that link, you can just play instantly. You don't have to create an account, don't have to download anything. You're just immediately playing the game, which is something we're really focused on. So we're on Telegram, Warpcast. We'll be launching on WorldCoin, and we're working on a Discord integration as well. So we really want the Farcade to be playable wherever people are spending time. So that's on the roadmap. The standalone mobile app is on the roadmap, and then our token launch. The token launch is the very big thing we're working on. We think everything about the Farcade becomes so much more interesting once the token is live, and that's really what we're bullish on is getting that token live and then starting to integrate that into the apps in really, really cool ways.
Yeah, I think personally speaking, the moment that you launch the token, you're gonna have this influx of new people that
Yeah.
you never dreamt possible because there's people that are gonna speculate on the token. Then they start getting into your ecosystem and they see like what you're building at the Farcade. Then you're gonna just it's a net positive for sure. I know there's a lot of work in between that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
A lot
no,
of work.
I to be honest, I might have to start. I need to start playing the game. Even if there wasn't a token, I need to start using this Telegram bot so I can integrate and like learn. But like, if there's a token, potentially, let's go.
Yeah, no, and yeah, we're big believers in rewarding early adopters. Like that's something that we take very seriously. We love people who want to take a chance on us, and so that's definitely, take that for what it's worth.
For sure. Chuck, before we go, any last words that you have for anybody listening regarding the Farcade?
Yeah, like I said, I love that quote from Ratatouille. Anyone can cook. Like if you think of a fun game and you want to come build and you don't want to worry about doing all the stuff like launching on an app store or filling out the terms and conditions, but you just want to make games and share them with your friends, the Farcade is going to be the best platform to do it. We really believe will be the best distribution discovery platform for mobile games this year. Especially, we'll be the number one for Web3 for sure, and we want to be bigger than that. So if you love games and you love mobile games, like please come check out the Farcade. We'd love to have you. And it's still early, and we just always want more people to come try it out because we want to build something very incredible, and we'd love you to be there for it.
Chuck. Thank you so much, man, for coming on the pod.
Oh, thanks, Bill. Thanks very much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure was all mine. Everyone, if you're listening to this on Spotify, head over to YouTube. On YouTube, we're going to make sure to put the Farcade's information and also Chuck's information so you can find out more about it. You also find Late Night on Base's information so you can learn more about us. If you haven't done so, like and subscribe. It's free, helps us produce more content on the daily. So, yeah, I'm excited for you, Chuck, and I'm excited to start playing this Telegram bot.
Yeah, man. I hope you have fun. Yeah, let me know what you think because
I
I think it's
will.
pretty addicting. My family almost got torn apart over Christmas, so
Amazing.
leaderboards got very competitive. So let me know what you
Amazing.
think.
Love it. All right, everyone. Until next time, this has been another episode, Late Night on Base, Build a Bull with Farcade. See you guys.